I know it's midnight, so we'll see how people come in here. If we don't get enough people in here, I'm probably gonna call it because I know it's pretty late. Trying to see how people come in here. I meant to do this live earlier, but I had a busy day today, and I was just really tired. And I'm still tired as hell right now, but we'll see what we get. I'll be sticking around for like 10 minutes. If I don't get anybody in 10 minutes, I'm gonna shut this live down. And just do a pre-recorded video of what I want to say. See, we're still getting people. Hey, Pixie. If you're into this channel and you're new here, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. I drop content every day, just about. For everybody that's new in this channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button and make sure to hit the like. Hey, Coda, what's good? I don't really go live during midnight, so it's kind of a weird time for me. So I'm gonna sit back for a little bit and just wait for some more people to come through. What's up, Pixie? Wait, where are you from? It's like I'm Central Time, so like it's literally midnight over here. Foodie, I'm talking in live time, am I? How am I not a real person? And what is this comment right here from bruh, quit doing that stupid mod or whatever your name is? I need context. I need context. Like, mean to you in what way? An NPC? Really, bro? Really? Let's check something out real quick. Hang on. Well, To be honest, what you do, Pixie, what you do in that situation is just separate yourself from the environment, like depending on where you're at, and always, you know, like have encouragement to not be afraid to like stand up for yourself. Like that's the biggest thing. You can't be afraid to like stand up for yourself. You know what I'm saying? If they don't stop, you know, whatever it is you gotta do, like I would just say if they come at you trying to attack, like be ready to defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way to handle any type of conflict, especially bullying, because bullies prey on weakness. And as for Foodie, bro, you ain't got no freaking subscribers. Look at my subscriber count, bro. Damn near 700. So how am I an NPC, but I'm building an audience? You don't even have nowhere near 100, bro, but you want to call me an NPC. Your comment is literally like the IQ of a second grader, bro. Like, get better material, mate. Get better material. Like, real shit. Like, if you're to come at me trying to insult me on my live about being NPC, bro, like, you gotta come with a better script. I'm just saying, man. Like, a freaking toddler can come up with a comeback like that, man. So get out of my live. Well, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Sorry, it gets kind of weird because trolls like come in force sometimes, bro. So, like, I need context, man. Like, I'm not trying to put you on blast for, you know, anything that I'm assuming you're doing. You know, like, let me know what's up. And Pixie. Oh, gotcha. Appreciate you, man. My bad. I didn't mean to assume you were a troll or anything, man. Yeah, honestly, if you cannot get them to go away, like where's this happening at? Because that matters too. Also, I do have to get on the topic, so hold that thought, reach out to me, and I can also give you feedback when this channel, like when I'm done doing my live, whatever, I can like, you know, give you feedback at some point, because I do have to like start the topic now. But yeah, so starting the topic, I will say that like people shouldn't take life for granted. I did a video, and this is why I'm doing this live right now, because over a year ago, or yeah, a little bit over a year ago, I filmed this fire of this house burning down, right? And I was on my way coming from, you know, getting some ice cream or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So that was kind of a shocker to me to like drive through a neighborhood and see a fire. So I had to stop my car, and I looked, and the house was burning. And during that whole situation, it reminded me that like, as individuals, we put so much pride and we always put so much emphasis on materialistic stuff, and we always want to basically, you know, take life for granted. We're not appreciative of anything. And the moment you basically, you know, don't humble yourself, that house or that thing that you have can literally come crumbling down in seconds. You know what I'm saying? So nothing is permanent. We have to cherish every moment that we have and appreciate what good we have coming to us and not take it for granted. Because when I saw that house burn down, it really changed my whole mindset on how I view things. You feel me? And I got the video on my long form content and my short form content. So check that out. It's just really kept me humble. And you never really know the full effect of how it's going to hurt you, like mentally. until you actually see it for yourself face to face. Like when you see a fire burning down in front of you, like a person's hard work burning down right in front of you. We're not talking about on the news. We're not talking about from your TV screen. We're talking literally face to face in live time. That's a whole different perspective of how you're gonna, deal with that and cope with that, seeing it face to face versus just watching on a TV screen. And when I basically saw that, I immediately started to, become more grateful for what I do have. I started to be more happy for, things that are going right in my life, because I already know that at any moment, certain things could be taken from me. And I feel like as a society, we don't really have that sort of mindset for the most part. And I think we need to, really get to that point where we're humble and we understand how things can be taken from us just like that if we aren't paying attention to, the forces around. You know what I'm saying? Because things always show up in mysterious ways. You know what I'm saying? So like one person might see something valuable that might, help them learn how to get through life, whether it be good or bad. And what you take from that lesson is going to carry you 100-fold down the line. And that's basically the point of this live. You feel me? Let me read some of these comments real quick before I continue on. Are you still in here, Pixie? Are you still in here, Pixie? If you're still in here, okay, cool. If you're still in here, hey, Felicia. All the new people in my live, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Pixie, I don't know how old you are, but I will say it's really kind of, a hard thing to avoid, disrespect unless you handle it full force, or bullying in general. And the way I've handled, stuff like that, especially, I don't know how old you are, but the way I've handled it has always been to just check the person and just stand my ground. You know what I'm saying? And usually when you stand your ground and you don't show weakness, no matter how big they are or how small they are, they're not really gonna try you. Like I've had experiences with that. So I don't really know how old you are. The best advice I can give you is if it's just words, I mean, best thing you can do is stand up for yourself, like I said earlier. I don't know how old you are, but if you're a young person, if you have family, somebody that can, you can reach out to, definitely, use those resources. But the most important thing I say anybody needs is learning self-defense, because words lead to violence. You know what I'm saying? And you always got to be ready for when someone wants to step to that level with you. And when you're in that position, you want to be able to fight back and kick their ass. So I always say, self-defense and knowing how to fight is going to be your key in basically handling any type of bully. Bottom line in the story with that. You're going to be 100% better off if you know how to fight. Hope that helps. But yeah, moving on to the topic. So when you are in a situation where you're dealing with all these different obstacles coming at you, it's hard as hell. And I want to take the selfishness off of my own, lessons being learned in life, and just focus on the people that literally have to suffer losing all the stuff they worked hard for. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we learn lessons at someone else's expense because they've gone through something that we've probably taken note on, and we're like, okay, we got to be more appreciative of what we do got, because this person was unfortunate enough to, have what they had because they lost it all. You feel me? And honestly, the people that go through that type of situation, it's a tough situation to go through. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't imagine or fathom having my own house burned down. Like, where would I go? Who would I call? What would I do? You know what I'm saying? And then if I had stuff that's like memorable, like this person's probably got, you know, like that's devastating to lose all that years of like history and, you know, memory. You know what I'm saying? And we don't really understand the repercussions of what goes on in people's minds psychologically when they lose stuff like that. It's easy to say, oh, it'll get better. Oh, hang in there. Everything's gonna be okay. But what about the time that it took to get to that point for them to get what they got? Yeah, I try to go live whenever I'm able to, honestly, Pixie. But I'm not always live every single day. But usually I've been going live like for the past few weeks, like at the beginning of the week. So today's Monday. So usually like expect a live at the very least on Mondays and Tuesdays for right now, because I got a busy schedule. So I try to, you know, do it when I can, but Mondays and Tuesdays is when I've been, you know, more accurate with it. But yeah, I just think that we need to be more humble and we need to understand, you know, people's struggle. Like, the worst thing in the world is people feeling sorry for you. People feel sorry for you, but all they offer is just words and nothing else. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's like walking in the street and you see a homeless person with their hat out, you know, or a coin jar, needing some money. And then all the person does is look at them like this, turn to the side, look at them like that, and just shake their head in sorry and well, not sorry, in sorrow and pity. And they just walk away. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to always be reminded of like just how messed up our world is. And that's good, Felicia. That's good. But yeah, we always have to be reminded that like this world is just as uncomfortable as the truth might be. Our world is effed up, but we have to acknowledge it for what it is. We have to acknowledge it for what it is. And the best policy in life to really, you know, make sure that you're, you know, not falling victim to that type of lifestyle, even if it might be out of your control to some degree, is just making sure your mindset is shifted in a way to where you're on a grind that's unstoppable, to the point where you can't lose everything, but you can rebuild what you lost back. And that's the moral of my channel, basically. Let me read the comments real quick. I'm new, but where are you from? I'm from Texas. I'm from Texas. My friends just say water and rain. What are you referring to? Sorry, I'm kind of lost, Pixie. I'm 30. I'm 30. But yeah, if you look at okay, I'll put this in perspective right here. I started this channel, and I always like to refer to, you know, my accomplishments from being where I started off to where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? I made a YouTube channel literally 2 years ago, gave up, came back some years later, and here I am now. And I started in February, already almost at 700 subscribers. And you know what's crazy about the situation is that my drive behind coming back was basically to keep going. And I have a drive that's like way more harder than it was when I first started my YouTube channel. That's why my name is B Keeps Going, because the B stands for my first name and then keeps going. So it's like the letter to my first name keeps going, because I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep going. And this channel reflects that, because I'm all about trying to get to the next level. I'm trying to basically reach heights that have never been reached before. And that's the mindset I want every single person to get from this channel, so that way they can apply it in the real world and become successful. Because if they have that mindset, when they go through these types of trials and errors that might halt them or put them at a complete stop, they at least have the mindset to know how to get past that obstacle. You feel me? And this is not easy at all. Like, even though I'm preaching this, it's not an easy concept to understand unless you actually go through the trials, understand how cruel life is, understand that people aren't gonna give a damn about you. The only person that's gonna give a damn about you is you at the end of the day, because, you know, friends might act like they care, but when push comes to shove, they got the tail between legs running down the hill. You know what I'm saying? So you have to really be mindful that you are all you got. And when stuff comes crumbling down on you, no one's gonna pick up the mess except you at the end of the day. And I want people to understand that when they look at my channel, because when I was a youngin', you know what I'm saying? When I was, you know, young, I always relied on other people to help me through stuff. You know what I'm saying? But when reality hits you and you realize that you ain't got that support, and that support was all a facade, it opens up your mindset to know, okay, I gotta be on my purpose. I gotta be, you know, on top of my game, because ain't no one gonna be on top of the game for me. Some people learn that early, some people learn that late. But you know what is beneficial in the situation is, as long as you learn it and you apply it, you can change whatever mindset you previously had into a new form of how to overcome obstacles in your new mindset. And that's why I'm using the reference of the house fire, because that's not an easy thing for any individual to go through. You cannot easily get over losing all your life earnings and everything built watching your house burn down. And after a year, I'm sure that person is still grieving the loss. Like, that loss has not left that person yet, I'm sure. I don't know if they're okay. I don't know the circumstances of the situation, but I will say that, like, I hope they're okay. I hope they're doing well. But when you go through something that heavy, it ain't gonna take a year to get over that. Like, it's just not. Let me read through the comments real quick. When I tell my friends, they say it water and rain because they don't have to go through what I have to, because they feel like my friends don't care. Honestly, I'm gonna ask you a real question. If you're getting bullied all the time, right? Where are your friends at when you're being bullied? I just have to know. Like, that's an important question. Like, where are they at? Let me read the other comment. Hey, my pops always told me life's what you make it. Exactly, Felicia. Life is what you make it. Facts. Like, if you want your life to be shit, it's gonna be shit. If you want it to be good, it's gonna be good. It's all about mindset. Bad things happen all the time. You go through trial and error all the time, but how you mentally can go past it is what makes or breaks you. Right? Yes, we need more of what you're offering. I didn't have a true mentor while growing up. I'm 37 and it's been a weird, wild life. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you're 7 years older than me. But yeah, and not a lot of people have that type of uh, support system, I've noticed. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially, especially being a man, like for me as a man, statistically, as a black man or as a general, we don't have our fathers in our lives. So we're having to basically learn how to survive, you know, in our own masculinity as a man, having to figure out where we are in life and go through all these different issues and trials and errors, and then we finally, you know, prevail over X amount of time. So I mean, it's a real thing. Like it took me a while to understand, like, you know, what it is to be a man, what it takes to become one, and just, you know, developing that sort of, you know, developing masculinity. Like it took me a while to do that, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have a real father figure when I was little, you know what I'm saying? So that was like years of catch up. But yeah, let me see. My friends tell me to figure something out. So again, this, I'm glad you brought that up, Pixie. This kind of goes into this topic that I'm talking about, actually. So, you know, like how I said, whenever you have a problem, people just look at you and feel sorry for you. Even your friends do the same thing. They'll be like, "Oh, that sucks. You're going through that," while their head is looking down at the ground, and they're just like walking in formation, try not to, you know, address the situation at hand. The easiest way to answer the question to avoid any sort of extra, you know, description about it is just to be like, "Oh, I'm sorry for what you're going through." The end. They offer no real solution. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Only you can care about you at the end of the day, because no one else will care about you. And that's a sad truth about our world. Like, you can go through something messed up in life, and the people around you will just, you know, fake sorry around you, like, "Oh, you know, you poor thing, like, you know, you didn't have to go through all that." And then meanwhile they're like, "I don't give a shit." Like that's the reality. Like a lot of people don't care about other people's problems, and it's taken me a while to realize that. Like people, you know, will play nice in front of your face, but behind your back they don't really give a fuck. And that's just the cold hard truth. And as adults, we gotta understand that. And when we're in a situation where we have friends that treat us that way, we have to act accordingly and cut them off. If your friends are seeing you get bullied and they're seeing you get treated like shit, but that's all they're saying for you to do, and they're supposed to be your friends, why be around them? Why waste your time being around people that don't bring you any type of value, other than just saying, "Oh, you poor thing." Like I can literally go to a stranger right now and tell the stranger, "Oh, I'm having a bad day because of blah 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 reason," and they're gonna say, "Oh, that sucks." But do they really care about it? No. They're gonna be like, "Okay, that sucks. See you later." Like that's literally how, in a nutshell, you're describing your friends. Oh, your dad lives with you. So what does your dad do? Like when you tell him that you're getting bullied, what does your dad do? And that's the next important question, because you have a male figure in your life. And usually the male figure is supposed to be the one to protect their, you know, their kids, especially their daughters. But okay, but does he go and like, has he confronted the bullies? Has he like stepped up and be like, "Hey, like stop messing with my daughter. Like what the fuck's your problem?" Like has he done that? Because comforting is one thing, and I get that. Like your dad should comfort you, but he also should, you know, if you're struggling with like being picked on by people, and he has the advantage to like go talk to them, he should be able to go confront it. Like that's what every father's duty is supposed to be. I don't have any kids yet, but I can guarantee you right now, when I do have kids, if my daughter or my kids are getting picked on by somebody, I'm definitely going to confront their bully. I bet my bottom dollar on that shit. Like, ain't no one going to fuck with my kids when I get kids. So why are they still bullying you then if they're like, I don't know. Like, I would say, again, my position has not changed. I do believe that when you bring a fight to a battle that won't stop and you finally show force, they shouldn't be coming back for more. You know what I'm saying? They usually shouldn't. Like, that's some crazy shit if like you can fight or like you're able to defend yourself and you put them in their place, but they're still coming back for more. Like, that to me is pretty like, crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I would just say honestly, like, how come he hasn't like gotten you out of that city or place that you're at? You know what I'm saying? Like, how come he hasn't like got you out of there? Like, that's the second thing a father should do. You know what I'm saying? First thing, confront the bullies, which you said he did. But then the second thing should be, okay, well, I'm not really like, I don't trust, like, I trust the police to some degree, but I know they ain't gonna do shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to really like protect yourself at the end of the day. The police are like secondary. But that's the next thing he should do, and then basically get you away from there if nothing's working. But I don't really advocate for the police, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, I support the police, but I don't rely on them. You feel me? Like, I feel like civil justice is the first thing that comes before the police show up at your door to solve the problem. So that's why I didn't mention that right off the rip. Are you still in here? You're still in here? And then I got kind of sidetracked on my on what I was talking about a little bit, but I'm gonna ask you another question. But let me continue on with the story, and then I'll get back to one of the questions I have to ask you. So yeah, in general, you have to understand, folks, that no one's gonna have your best interest at heart. Only you. Only you know what's best for you, and only you know what you're able to do and what you can do. And basically what that means is that no one controls you technically. No one is you. So why are they going to fight so hard to stand up for you if they ain't you? You feel me? Like, why will they fight so hard for you if they're not you? It's pointless, right? It's pointless. They're not going to. That's why you have to look out for you. Like, real shit. You got to look out for you. It's a crappy world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've even seen skits, you know what I'm saying, of like people, even like, like old videos, I used to watch like Facebook videos and stuff like that, right? I would see like videos of like homeless people, and shit like that. And, people dress up to be homeless, but they're not really homeless. And like, they'll stand in the corner and go ask rich people for like money or whatever, right? And then immediately they'll get like, told to screw off, whatever. And I'm not saying, that's right or wrong, because at the end of the day, like, whenever I go out to, the store or whatever, and I'm trying to go, to the gas station to go fill up my gas tank and go run the convenience store to go, buy a drink, I don't want to be accosted by a homeless person asking me for money. Like, that's a bit annoying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that. So I get the frustration there. But the point I'm trying to make with that situation is that people aren't going to care about you. no one cares at the end of the day. Like, people will look at you for like 2 seconds and feel sorry for you, and then they're gonna act like you're invisible in like the third second. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that to remind you and to remind people watching that, like, you have to basically have your own back, because no one's gonna have your back. How long have you been, now that's one of my next questions. How long have you been in that place for? Like, how long were you there? And then how long were you bullied for? Like, I need to know all that. How long were you bullied for, and how long have you been living in that current city that you're at right now? A few days. I'm not gonna lie. I swear, the way the conversation looked, it looked like you were going through this for like months. I'm sorry, it just looked like you were going through this for like months. But I mean, a few days. I mean, that's not bad. You know what I'm saying? That's not bad. Like, that's kind of, reasonable. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I will say, like, and I'm gonna emphasize this. I probably said this like 3-4 times, but you need to know how to defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to. I feel like everybody needs to pick up a self-defense skill. You know what I'm saying? Because at some point, every person's gonna face someone out in the real world that's gonna try them. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to be caught lacking, or you don't want to be caught, slipping to the point where, like, someone has the upper hand because you don't know how to, like, fight back. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's such an important skill to, like, learn. Because if you can learn self-defense, that bully situation would have ended within like 5 minutes. You probably wouldn't even have to get your dad involved, because you would have just been able to, like, handle that shit within like 5 minutes. That's the thing. So, okay, that's good. That's good. I'm glad you know how to fight. But next question. Have they tried to put hands on you? Have they tried to put hands on you? Pixie? The reason I'm asking if they try to put hands on you is because you might not like fighting. Okay, that's good to know. So I get you don't want to fight, but you know how to fight. But you want to basically eliminate the problem. And how do you eliminate the problem? You have to show force. You know what I'm saying? You just have to. Like, as harsh as it might sound, you have to show force. That's the only way you're gonna not be harassed by people, because they obviously, are looking at you as like, oh, you ain't gonna do shit. Oh, I'm doing this, that, and the third. What are you gonna do about it? So you have to prove them wrong. Like, I don't go through life, wanting to fight people. You know what I'm saying? I don't go through life wanting to have a chip on my shoulder, ready to kick everybody's ass, that looks at me sideways. But, like, if someone puts hands on me or touches me, like, I'm definitely gonna kick their ass. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, people need to know, like, you can't put your hands on me. Like, you can talk your mess at me. I'm not gonna come attack you just for running your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Because if I did, that'd be assault. But, like, if you put your hands on me and you touch me, you need to know that I'm about to break your face. And that's the type of thing you have to do when people mess with you and they get in your space. You know what I'm saying? So if they're just running their mouth, you don't have to fight at that point. But But the moment they start touching you and stuff like that, then that's where the line gets drawn. You know what I'm saying? Like that's an instant violation. Sometimes you just got to do that, and then you'll see how better off you'll be when people leave you alone, because they know that you don't fuck around, and you can literally, you know, put them in the hospital. It's a way better feeling knowing that when people try you, they ain't gonna try you because you can literally, you know, put them to sleep. So hopefully that helps. You know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully that helps you, you know, get through whatever you're going through right now. Because yeah, like, that's a rough situation. I don't like bullies at all. I think bullies should go F themselves, honestly. Bullies are the reason why we got the depression we got going on. You know what I'm saying? So just, you know, just hang in there and just, you know, like, don't be humble when people start messing with you. Once we get past words, like that's a whole nother like realm. But yeah. Also, I want to take some time to just tell everybody that's in here, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the like button as well. I want everybody to get notifications for when I go live, and I also want people to know I try to do my lives, you know, whenever I can at the beginning of the week, but for the most part, I try to do uploads every single day, just about. So if you're doing a long form video, I'm doing a short. If I ain't doing a short, I might be doing a live. And if I ain't doing a live, I might be doing a long form video. So you don't want to miss any content that I might be dropping. So make sure you hit the subscribe button so you get that notification. But yeah, I just want people to know, and I'm going back to the main topic of what we're discussing. But I want people to realize that this world, again, this world does not feel sorry for the weak. This world will eat you and spit you out alive. Like, the world is just cruel, and we have to really be aware of that. You know the game, you know how to play the game, you don't question the game because you already know the answer to the game. And that's the message I want people to understand. You know, that's why I made this channel. This channel was originally made because I don't like 9-to-5 politics. I don't like working 9 to 5. I work 2 jobs. Anytime, Pixie. I don't like working 2 jobs. You feel me? I just moved out from my family's place back in December. I got my own apartment now, and I want to also talk about just, you know, how stressful it is to have to wake up in the morning to go work a job that you don't really want to do. You know what I'm saying? Not quite yet. I'm giving some background information on the reasoning behind my channel and the topic of how this relates to what I'm, you know, why I'm doing what I'm doing as far as my channel goes. So I'm not ending quite yet. It's gonna be probably a little over the hour before I end the live. But yeah, so the reason behind my channel is I don't like the 9-to-5 politics on the workplace. And I've done videos on this situation too. I've dropped videos on this already. But I'm a special education high school teacher, and then I'm also a part-time front desk gym worker. But I like working at the gym because, you know, it keeps me in shape. You feel me? I like it, and the environment is just really, really chill there. You know what I'm saying? So I like it. But the point I'm trying to make here is on the 8 to 5, 9 to 5 jobs, you're playing a game of politics with your other coworkers. You know what I'm saying? It's all favoritism. you don't get the respect and the acknowledgement that you deserve. You might have been there for a good amount of time, but get the least amount of ROI for what you bring to the job. And I don't rock with that. And basically this channel is me rebelling against the 8 to 5 culture, the 9 to 5 culture, whatever. Like, I'm trying to basically become an entrepreneur, trying to make myself a multimillionaire, doing, making passive income, trying to get this YouTube stuff going. I want to take this channel to the next level. And I want to basically carry my subscribers and the people that support my mission with me. You know what I'm saying? Because what I bring to the table is I will show people what it takes to be successful once I've reached to that goal. And I have no reason to hide the secrets to get there once I've gotten there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to basically help people become successful when I become successful. And that's the mission behind this channel. And how this goes back to the topic at hand is because when you don't have the money or resources to put yourself at a position to where you're not living paycheck to paycheck and you're not, struggling, you're going to have a hard time in life. You know what I'm saying? You're going to end up in situations that people don't care about, don't care to help you with. And my big thing is, like, I don't ever want to ever need anybody for anything. I want to be self-sufficient. I don't ever want to have to rely on anybody. I don't want anybody to, feel sorry for me. I don't want to have to, reach out to somebody because I can't afford to pay a bill at the end of the month. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be in a position like that. You don't want to be in any type of position like that. That's why it's important for people to level up and do better than just 9 to 5, because 9 to 5, you're just a slave. You're getting the bare minimum for nothing. You know what I'm saying? You're literally a slave working, from the sun up, literally until almost the sun is down, and you don't get nothing out of it. And the job market is trash. So most people aren't even getting paid what they should be getting paid. And the best way to have security is to have, money and having, a job, or not even a job, but like, a business that generates wealth. So you don't end up in a position to where you're stuck. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're homeless, you're not in the street. Or you don't have to worry about, if your house burns down, how am I gonna rebuild all the stuff again that I lost? That's why it's so important to have that extra, nest egg and be able to like grind and get to that point. And that's my motivation behind this channel. That's why I made this channel. So that's some context. That's some context for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me see if there's anything in the comments. Okay. But yeah, that's the mission of this channel. And I want to say, like, I didn't expect after 2.5 months to get to damn near 700 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? So like, I didn't expect to get to where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Because I've heard stories of people spending like over a year just to get to 1K subs. So, like, the grind is real out here. You feel me? Yeah, Pixie. So if you want to do a live, you got to have 50 subscribers to go live. That's the bare minimum requirement to go live, is 50 subs. But in my opinion, I didn't even start going live until like I hit like over 500 subscribers, just because I wanted to build my audience up through like shorts and, like reaching a bigger audience, because shorts pull in more views than like your long form content and like your live content. So that's why I started off doing shorts in the beginning. And then I just, started doing long form, mixing that in with the shorts. And then once I felt like I had a good subscriber count or decent enough to go live, then I just started doing it. But the bare minimum requirements is 50. So if anybody's in here, wait, what happened? What's that, Pixie? You said please, or what were you saying please for? Are you still in here, Pixie? You still in here? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I already gave you the answer. It's just 50 subscribers. You need 50 to go live. And then you go, if you have if you're on the app or whatever, just, the YouTube app, you just put the plus sign in the middle of the screen or whatever, and then it'll give you option to do video content, short content, or go live, or go to the community post section. And if you want to go live, you just click on the live part. But you need like 50 to do it though. But yeah. Chill here for a minute. I'm gonna continue talking for a minute. I'm just gonna take a quick pause real quick, see more people show up. Let me see. Who else is still in here? Who else is still in here? Who else? Who else? Who else? If you were live, what would you talk about? I'm just curious. What would you talk about if you were going live? No, like what would your topic be about if you're going live? Like people usually have like a niche or like something that they like talk about when they do content. Like for example, like my channel is about motivation. It's about the 9-to-5 hustle and trying to break free, and basically knowing how to survive in society. Like that's basically what my channel's about. Oh, okay, so that would be vlogging. You'd be vlogging. But I would frame that in a way to where you're not really complaining though, because from what I've heard on YouTube or when people do like lives or whatever, or any type of video content, like if they come off as complaining too much, then like the viewers just go away. So you got to like kind of frame that in a way to where you're using it as an experience, but you're also like not making it like a situation where people feel sorry for you about. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to get the most views you can possible. But yeah. Um, I also want to point out another thing too. Since we're on this, I mean, I can subscribe to you. I got you. I got you. Hang on. Hang on. I got you. I don't know how to subscribe from my live channel. I don't know how to do it from live. Um, I'll look you up when I get off my live, and I'll find your channel and I'll just subscribe when I get off my live stream, because I don't know how to do it through the live. By the way, I need moderators for my my live streams. Do you want to be a moderator? I figured I'd offer you mod status since you're pretty cool. Do you want to be a moderator? Because I'm looking for mods for this channel. So basically, what a moderator will do is, like, if someone is in the chat room trolling or being obnoxious, you just kick them out. Like, you have that advantage, like, kick people out if they're, like, you know, trolling or, you know, being stupid in the live chat. It just takes the pressure off of you know, me having to go through scrolling in the chat room to find, you know, a troll when I could be, like, you know, getting through the topic. So that's what the moderators do. They make it easy for the YouTuber to do the topic without having to stop to address the troll. All right, you're a mod now. You see that wrench? You see that wrench you got there? You got a wrench by your name, and your name is blue now. That means you're a mod. I should probably start putting looking to get mods for my my live stream on my community posts, because I'm looking for some mods. Like, I need a minimum of like at least like 5 to 10, but they also have to be willing to, like, come through whenever I go live though too. That's the other thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they have to be active enough to where it's like, okay, like, you know. But yeah. Going back to what I was gonna say though about the 9 to 5 job market and, you know, the politics and all this other crap. You feel me? It is the worst feeling in the world when you gotta compete with your coworkers. My philosophy is, why compete with people when you should be your own competition? You're in a more clear space of mind mentally when you're not having to compete with other people at a job, because people already have low self-esteem as it is. Like, that's just reality. People are always questioning themselves. They're always, you know, having doubts about how they feel or if they're doing the right thing. But that's the type of situation that creates the toxic work environment, is when you have these types of questions, all these doubts. That's what creates the toxic work environment. So how do you get out of the toxic work environment? It's not, oh, I'm gonna find a new job. It's not, oh, I'm going to just hope and pray that the toxicity gets better. The way you get rid of a toxic work environment is to exit the toxic work environment. And I'm not telling people who are currently in that environment to just drop their job right now and quit if they don't have no plan lined up. If you're in that in environment, if you're in an environment just like that, what I'm saying is be working on something to get out of that environment outside of that job. Don't just be complacent and content with just working there until retirement or until you find the next job opportunity. Start building your own side hustle or business outside the 9 to 5. Yeah, facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just annoying. You know what I'm saying? It's annoying. And it's all these freaking adults that, you know, treat like the job environment like it's, you know, high school over again. You know what I'm saying? Like why are we competing against each other? Why are we doing all this stuff? It's not right. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I have a hard time dealing with the 9 to 5 environment. That's why, like, I've basically rebelled. And another thing too that I really despise is when you have a manager or a boss that basically wants to try and, you know, use their superiority on you, or they try to, like, you know, like act like, you know, they're better than you. Like, I don't got time for that. Like, I don't got time to deal with that type of shit. You feel me? I'm a grown ass man. I'm just trying to be my own self, you know, do my own thing. And that's the reason why I made this channel also, because this is me basically expressing my disgust towards that type of shit. Because that's the type of shit that every normie has to go through. And we live in a world with options. We live in a world where we don't have to basically deal with that nonsense, but we're stuck in it because of certain things going on in our market, which makes it hard for us to advance and get out of that situation. Just whenever I go live, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I'll be in here tomorrow, but that's why when I said subscribe to my channel, subscribe, because you'll get notifications whenever I drop videos or whenever I do go live. You know what I'm saying? So you'll never miss my live. And usually I go live like at nighttime. It's usually earlier than this. It's not really at midnight, but I usually go live around 9 or 10 every Monday or Tuesday. But you'll at least get a notification on your phone when I go live. But yeah, I'm just tired of all that nonsense. I've gone into, you know, conversations about this, you know what I'm saying, and I've already made videos about this topic regarding, you know, the job market, and it gets me every single time. You know what I'm saying? It's like companies want people so bad, but they can't treat the people that they want so bad right. Make that make sense. How are you gonna want something, but then on the other end, spit at that exact same thing that you want, that you finally get, you spit on that thing. Like, it don't sound like you want it that bad. So don't cry when you have employers that, or no, don't cry when you have employees that walk out and don't want to work there no more. Don't cry then. Don't do this. I swear, man, it's annoying. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I have decided to become an entrepreneur, because of that type of bullshit. I used to think, you know, because I got my college degree. I went to university and everything. I got my college degree. But the biggest lie that's ever been told to every single person going to college is that they're going to get a job right after college. That's the biggest lie. And when you do get a job out of college, is it really something you want to do? Is it really something you're passionate about? Better question. Is it something that pays you enough to basically live on your own? Out of 4 years that you've dedicated to your time to basically go to school. Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, salute to all the teachers out there. That job ain't easy. That job ain't easy at all. That job is a mess. You ain't just dealing with kids all day. You're dealing with adults that act like kids too. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it happens, you know what I'm saying? But you know, and management too. Like you're dealing with a whole bunch of crap. And then the responsibility you got to take on too. Like it's just, I don't know, the juice is not worth the squeeze for me, honestly. Like that's why I'm hoping and I'm doing everything I can to get myself out of that situation. And that's what separates me from like the average everyday person. Is how many people go to a job they hate and they complain about it every day, but they don't do anything about it. They just stay stuck, but they don't put any work forward to try to get out of that situation. They just live in it. They live in the misery, but they don't try to like get out of it at all. And they're stuck there for years, complaining about the same shit. Me, on the other hand, I was like that in the beginning, but I came to realize that if I want better, I gotta make better. I gotta do something better to get out of the situation. I gotta produce something. I gotta come up with something to basically get out of that situation. Otherwise, I'm gonna be stuck there, miserable, complaining all day long. My mom's a teacher. I help her with her work and stuff. Yeah, so yeah, the job, yeah. So you know how hard the job is then. But yeah, like, and not to mention, teaching has had like a high turnover in the past like 4 years since, or 5 years since COVID or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, high turnover left and right. Like, I can't even tell you how many teachers have quit since like the 2 years I've been in education. Can't tell you how many teachers have like quit. Like, I don't got enough to count. But yeah, a lot. And so I just think that people need to do better. They need to figure out how to make something happen. First, what needs to happen is you're not gonna be able to change the job environment on your own. You know how many times people complain about how they're tired of the job and how they don't like the job for XYZ reason, but that same situation keeps going on even after they complain about it. So if these people are complaining about the same situation, but nothing's being done about it, what makes you think that you, as one person, is going to be able to counteract that and be the one that's going to change everything? Nah, man, you're not going to be not going to be the one to do it. So the way you are going to have to change it is to simply figure out a plan outside of that job, work towards that plan, and then when it succeeds, you exit that building and you say, see ya. Because now you brought something to the world of value that you can now make money on that doesn't require you to have to clock into an 8 to 5, 9 to 5 job. And I want to tie this back into the topic because I don't want people to get the wrong idea that we're getting off topic. But I'm tying this back into the topic simply because nobody cares about your problems. Nobody cares that you're struggling, paying, bills paycheck to paycheck. Nobody cares that you're literally one bill short from an eviction notice. Nobody cares that you're going through the hardships in your life where your job, treats you like utter crap. And that's just a sad truth. We need to start figuring out a plan on how we're going to do better with our own life, reach better potential, and always keep track of our milestones every single time we're improving at that goal. because that's what's going to humble us into knowing that we're in the right direction. The grind is slow and painful. It's not meant to be easy. If it was easy, every single person, including your dear Aunt Sally, would have the same thing that you want right now. But they don't have that, because getting these types of goals or reaching success to these types of heights requires sacrifice, time, discipline, and pain. And I want to know how many people right now are willing to put in all that time to do all this. Not very many. And that's why you'll always see a huge cycle of Americans in the Western world being a slave to corporate America until the plug gets taken out of their job and they're replaced by AI. That's going to be the only way they're going to be like, ah, shit, I should have hopped on the bandwagon to become my own entrepreneur like 10 years ago. Now my job's being replaced by AI. Oh no, what am I gonna do? I can't pay my bills this month. My job just laid me off because they replaced me with a robot. Like, you have to plan for this shit. You gotta get your head out of the rock. We're in 2025, people. You're competing against all these things on the job market and in the environment of the job. And then you're competing against being replaced potentially by AI too. So you almost have no choice at this point but to be your own boss. You have no choice. Do you want to be a boss now, or do you want to be a boss when it's too late? Think about that. Right now. Or do you want to be a boss when it's too late? Because I'll tell you right now, while you're getting your paycheck and you're still able to make a living, you can at least be a boss right now and build something right now without the stress and headache of getting kicked out of your apartment or your place of where you reside, or dealing with all this other crap. But when it's too late and you know you ain't got nothing to do to pay that bill because you got laid off for whatever reason or replaced for whatever reason, and on top of the AI stuff going on, you're cooked. You're cooked. And at the end of the day, no one's gonna care what your problem is, what your story is. No one's gonna care. They're just gonna look at you face to face and act like they care. But when they walk away from you, they're gonna be like, what the fuck was that about? Who is this person? You know what I'm saying? Like that's really how people are gonna operate. So the whole point of why I'm bringing this up is to say, you have no choice but to make your own life on your own and figure out a plan, because that plan ain't gonna just be handed to you by anybody. You gotta work for that plan. You gotta put in the time, you gotta put in the effort, and you gotta put in the discipline and the pain to get to that goal that you're trying to reach for that plan. And if you're not doing that, then the world's just gonna stare at you in pity and offer you zero. Literally. And I'll be honest with you, losing things that you work hard for is scary. It's really scary. One of the biggest things I'm scared of, especially, moving out on my own, being, on my own now, my own man now, being myself, like I'm scared of being evicted. I'm scared of that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I work so hard to, work 2 jobs while I'm doing things on the side to build myself up to get out of working 2 jobs, because I'm so scared of getting an eviction notice or any type of thing happening to me down the line. You know what I'm saying? Like you can literally get sick you can break a leg or something and be out of work. How are you gonna get money? How are you gonna make money? You know what I'm saying? So you have to always prepare for the future. You have to prepare for things. You have to always be ready. And that's why I feel like the only way to get ready, it ain't from the 9 to 5. It's from building outside of the 9 to 5, because that's what's going to sustain your wealth, and that's what's going to help you have an emergency fund. So that way, when you're in a pickle like that, you're not going to be kicked out on the street. And that's why I fight every single day to earn money, to become successful, to grind. I'm always grinding. I'm always trying to figure out how I can make more money, how I can, start something to help me build more wealth so I can not worry about this type of shit. And I just wonder how many people don't worry about this until it's too late. And a lot of people enjoy comfort food. They enjoy the instant gratification of what they get in that moment, but they don't realize that a moment is simply just a moment. And after that moment is over, you're going to deal with reality. And when reality kicks in, you're going to be like, oh shit, I should have taken this thing more seriously, so that way I didn't end up in the situation I'm in now. And that's the reality. That's the reality. And that's the point of why I'm doing this live also. Because we want to be grateful for what we do have. We want to be, humble about what we have. But we also don't want to be stagnant and complacent. Because the moment we're stagnant and complacent, we lose everything. We lose what we worked hard for when we're just comfortable and we don't have the drive to go beyond our comfort. When we go through disasters, or we go through, a house burning down, we want to be able to bounce back. We want to be able to take that L and turn that L into triple wins. But how do we turn an L into triple wins if we don't have a backup plan? If we don't have an emergency fund stacked to the high, to the high top? And I'm talking, bands on top of bands. You feel me? Like, how are we gonna be set for success if we don't got that? It all starts there. And I've used this analogy, and this is a good analogy. I like this analogy. Think of the 9 to 5 job like a tricycle. And then think about being a boss as the bike. The job is a tricycle because it's literally training wheels to help you get comfortable riding down the street without falling on your ass. But the moment you break free from that 9 to 5, that's when the tricycle wheels start coming off. And now you got to learn how to ride the bike. You might fail a few times. You might fail multiple times. You might fall on your ass several times. But the one thing you have to understand is if you keep going at it and you keep riding that bike, you keep putting effort towards that business, eventually it will become successful. Just like if you keep riding that bike, you'll eventually have balance to ride that bike down the street. It's the same process. So the 9 to 5 is your tricycle, your business, your passive income, or whatever side hustle you got that can lead into a business is your bicycle, or your bike. That's how you got to look at that. You got to look at it from that perspective. It's not an easy task, but again, it's not meant to be easy. Nothing worth having is meant to be easy. If it was easy, everything hard would be obtainable for every single person, even a newborn. So keep that in mind when you're trying to work towards something. It's not going to be instant, and you're not going to get the results you want right away. And that's one thing I had to, really struggle with when I first started this channel. You know what I'm saying? I had to really go through that process when I came back onto YouTube. I had to realize that this ain't gonna be easy. This is gonna take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and I have to be willing to come on here, be consistent, and not give up. Always give content, always bring something of value to people, and not, stop the moment I don't see what I want yet. Because the moment you stop, that's the moment you've already given up, when you could have been at your fullest potential down the line. And I'm not about to sacrifice my fullest potential. I'm about to go all the way into my fullest potential, because I already know that I have the potential. I just gotta just be consistent and just show up and keep bringing valuable content to people that, like what they see. And then after that, I'll get the results. But it all starts with your mindset. And you got to fix that. You got to fix the mindset. If you got a weak mindset right now, change that shit right now. Change it. That weak mindset, that weak mindset is not going to get you what you want in life. At the end of the day, you're going to be stuck with that mindset. The world's going to keep spinning. The world's going to keep going on. And that's the message I want to leave y'all with today. So with that being said, make sure, if you're watching this on the replay or you're in here right now, to hit the like button. On the replay, comment in the comment section. And also, don't forget to subscribe. I got to get going to bed because I have to get up for work in the morning. But I hope I left an impact on people watching this video. And I hope I've changed some lives. And I hope I've made a difference in your life. And I'll be back with more content. Just make sure to hit the subscribe button so you get notifications to know when I drop my videos. And that way you don't miss anything. Anyways, I'm out. Peace.